spare time. So, all right. All right. So this next entry is called the Kybalion, and I want to just take a moment to for the sake of what it actually did for me, acknowledge this and like this time in my life as like, you know, the blessing that it was, because this book and the knowledge that I got from this book changed my life completely. Sometimes a little bit of knowledge could really, that's really all that we lack anyway. It's just the reason people can't get what they want is because they don't have the knowledge. Knowledge could, unlock power. So this knowledge for me is what helped me control myself and take control of myself. When I was like, I think 18, my dad made me read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that had, just like everyone else knows, all the guys that say that, all the guys that are successful, they know about that book. And that was like the first stage for me of believing that that led to further thinking, which led to Think and Grow Rich, which was, that's what led me into believing that I could, that the law of attraction was real. So that took me throughout up until this point, and it helped me grow almost to that point, near $1 million company, just by, believing that I could. And then this book at the age of 26 had the same impact on me, but just in a deeper way. It was like the next level, because it introduced me to the 7 Hermetic principles that they're called the 7 Hermetic principles, but simply put, they're the laws that govern everything in the universe. They're the laws by which everything grows, decays, like the way it's just, I don't want to speak like that, excuse me. My dad used to say this to me all the time. My dad was a 5%er from at that point, there's self-knowledge, knowledge of self, believing that the man is God, and, kind of asserting their, at that point. So my dad had always told me that, Rashawn, that they're universal laws. He used to say it, and then I learned it myself, but they really are. This is really the truth. And if you're hearing this, don't let anyone tell you any different. Man lies, we lie. You lie, I lie. And so does everyone else. And everything that you've learned, for the most part, is truly a lie. It's not bad, but it's just like, this is the truth. And the truth is that that the Kybalion teaches you how to navigate in this, and it teaches you how to take control of your mind. It shows you how really this whole thing that we're in is actually a mind. There are 7 principles by which they say that govern the universe. The first of those principles is the law of mentalism, and that is the law that everything is mind, everything is mental. It's the idea of that we are perceived, we're perceiving that we're actually in reality, but we're actually in a big thought, like as if the thoughts that we have in our head, we're those thoughts in God's head. It's just literally everything's mental, and it really is, because if you really go deep with it on a atomic level, nothing is concrete. Like everything, this matter stuff that we see. I don't want to get too deep. I don't. But the idea of nothing being solid and this being just like a big ass thought is actually real on a quantum level. But that's just on another level, I just want to stress the importance of how profound this was to me, because I truly think that at this point, that personal development, that whole idea of personal development and people that want to better themselves, skip that part. Skip the part of personal development, because personal development only leads you to spiritual development. Personal development will be the gateway, because there's only but so much personal development you can do. Once you start, there's only but so much, and you start seeking like, okay, what's the next thing, and then the most important thing that anyone could do in this life is to understand what actually we're in. the actual reality, because a lot of people do know. People do know what we're in. It's just that, you know, in an older paradigm, you know, the concept was to, you know, monopolize, like not monopolize, but hoard power, hoard knowledge, therefore, so they could hoard power. So it doesn't benefit people to tell the people that they're like this shit. So, but we're going into a new era anyways, but I'm just saying why this is not known. But anyways, this had a real profound impact on me. And if you want to, you know, change your life, I'd say at this point, you don't need to do personal development. You don't need to listen to people that are going to motivate you. The most important thing that you could do is to get your relationship right with God, is to learn universal principles, which is getting your, you know, whatever the fuck you call it. Figure out what's going on the other side, because that's really what's going to help you. And that's what helped me get from a point of, you know, 500,000 to 1 million to 4 million in 18 months. This is like, you know, this is miracle shit. So this entry had a really profound impact on me. It was the beginning of it all. What I feel like is I was ready for this knowledge. You've seen all the previous entries. I was saying a lot of things that were just next level shit. And then I think, you know, the universe, as it usually does, presented me this book, and that shit changed my life. Now, just to give a pre-context, I was living in my warehouse when I found this book. This was a point when I had a 3,000 square foot, it was the middle of fucking winter. All right, I was cold, I didn't have hot water. I was, you know, I had a business, but I was fucking drowning in debt with merchant cash advances coming out of my account every hour every day on the day. Hundreds of dollars, I don't even want to go into just, I was fucked up. And after being up, actually, I had the first 2 years of my company, I actually did well, and, you know, had an inflated ego, and then all of a sudden, before, like fucking faster than it grew, it just imploded. So I think I was looking for some help. I was looking for a way to get out, and then this had presented itself to me. So that's the pre-context. The pre-context is, you know, this is really, like, not to say that the Bible is everything. It absolutely is. But this is just concrete. This is like what all right, so there's fundamental shit that like every religion has bit off of, like the original knowledge. The original knowledge, right, is what like everything has branched off from. So everything, religion, every fucking like everything comes from one truth. That one truth is this truth. Not to say that there's just one fucking truth. Just don't believe in all this shit. This is what fucked me up when I was young. I was like, yo, there's too many stories. There is one story. And that one story will help you, like, get what you want in life. Not, you know, that's it. And that's what this life's about, getting what you want. So, here. Now, the Kybalion. Let's go. Pick this fucking book up. All right, so now I'm just going to go to my note and read this verse. All right. Excuse me, I want to play a specific song. Shout out to my nigga Nick. All right, this is Spirit. It's a response to this journal entry. This was a part of your destiny. This knowledge is introduced to you at the time that you needed it most to create the new reality that you wanted for yourself, which was quite different than the one you were living in at the time. This is the most sacred knowledge in the universe that one can understand about the universe, how it operates, and how to operate within it. You must not forget how profound this was in your life at the time. You remember what this did for you. You began at that time to recreate your reality, which is what you want to do again now. You have, however, reached a level of success that has made you comfortable and cocky in a sense. You diverted away from the truth once the worldly possessions began pouring in, which is what most people do. They get caught up in the hype. And once again, you hit the floor and you find yourself back here asking for more. This is usually how it goes in the universe. Things must get chaotic before order ensues. So the lesson here is that the fundamentals are the fundamentals. The 7 laws are the fundamental teachings you must use and remind yourself of in order to manipulate this reality. And it sucks to have to get to the bottom, like where you think you are now, because you have to start all over again. You don't get the benefit of riding on the back of momentum. Instead, you have to get the ship off land again. You don't want to continue to put yourself in this situation because you want to enjoy a life of forward progress, not one of up, down movement. The latter is less enjoyable. It's like having to get to 300 pounds every time in order just to get serious again and get your body back to 215 and lean. That process is harder than staying between 215 and 225 consistently by developing habits and routines that you implement into your daily life in order to systemize the things you need to do. Recommit and reestablish dominion over yourself in order to reestablish order on this planet. You must do this. The universe depends on it. Okay. So before I get into the liquid text thing, I really, I feel like if you are on the same page with me where you think that there's some bigger messages in these things, then you'll understand. And if you don't, then fuck it, I don't care. Because I truly do feel like some of this stuff is like channeled. But this here is like, I want to explain just like, the thing is that I'm going through this process for me is actually reminding me of some of these things myself, because I am trying to create a new reality for myself. The company that we're going to go through during this vlog, I closed down 3 months ago, and I'm in a new city, in a new place with like a entirely new opportunity that I need to build from the ground up again. And so I find myself, seeking things, but going back to this journal makes me, it's like, holy shit, I wrote the manual for how to create things. So I'm using it myself, and this is why I said on the, in the note here, the, almost last paragraph, the second paragraph, sorry. You remember the second paragraph. You must not forget how profound this was in your life at the time. You remember what this did for you. You began at that time to recreate your reality, which is what you want to do again now. So, anyone that wants to create their reality, if you're gonna follow this, and actually take the advice, then the Kybalion and the knowledge in the Kybalion is of the utmost importance. You have to understand what's really going on, because if you don't, you'll just continue to be, led astray. If you don't know how to navigate in the ocean and how to pilot and how to then you're not going to get anywhere. So this is how this is when you don't know what's really going on. If you don't have the knowledge, you can't, you know what I'm saying? So you have to equip yourself with that. So this is the perspective behind the way I'm speaking to myself. And in some ways, like the last paragraph where it says, and it sucks to have to get to the bottom, like I'm speaking to myself, because I still have to do this shit too. It's just like I did it this time, but now I'm having to learn it again. And part of the reason I'm having to learn it again is because I had to go through the process of becoming successful and unknowingly losing all this drive and this desire to seek this knowledge. It happened to me. I didn't even realize it because, I got so caught up in the success and the money and the monotony of it all that I just, you start thinking you're hot shit. It's like, I'm not going to go into analogies, but this is what happened. So that's that. Now here is okay, so this is my responses to the specific parts, which I think are pretty cool. Hold on one second. All right. All right, so this is pretty cool. Let's go into it. All right. So, in regards to this little piece now, okay. So, I'm gonna read the actual the entry first, and then we'll go over the responses. The Kybalion. This past week has been life-changing and mind-altering. I found the Kybalion and I began studying the 7 laws of hermetics. This is truly a life-altering discovery. Like, I've always felt like I've been searching for this knowledge ever since I became conscious. Books like Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh, The Secret, etc. have always influenced my way of thinking, but I always knew that there were deeper levels to it. I've wanted to find it, and now I have. I now have sacred knowledge and the ability to transcend my being to that of being God manifested on earth. I now have access to the same sacred knowledge that the occults such as the Illuminati have had for hundreds of years. With this divine knowledge comes the realization and understanding of one's own divinity. I realize now more than ever that I am the creator of my destiny and that I have complete control over the outcome of my life through the power of my thoughts and my mind. I can literally write my own destiny based on my ability to master the 7 laws of Hermeticism and uplift myself to a higher level of consciousness where I can, quote, serve on the mental and divine or ethereal realm and master the material realm. My ultimate divinity is predicated upon my willingness to devote the time necessary to becoming an initiate and eventual master of the 7 laws of the universe. This is no easy feat, but nothing worthwhile is. This is literally the ancient wisdom of the pharaohs, divine knowledge. I remember in the book, quote, The Science of Getting Rich, that the author wrote something along the lines of, quote, master this book and you will never in your life need to read another book about getting rich, for these teachings are everything you need to know. It's funny because now I understand what he meant. For the mastery of the Hermetic laws is the most important and only real necessary knowledge in the world one needs to achieve anything he or she may so desire in their lifetime. Everything else is arguably a waste of one's time. And I would say non-arguably, it just is. It's weird because lately I have been intuitively realizing all of the truths about the universe that we know. It's like the universe and the all are telling me that I'm ready to embark on my journey to my new life of higher consciousness and divinity. So as I wrote in my mushroom passage, I saw Egyptian pharaohs in white robes. Well, last night I had a dream, and when I woke up, I remembered one vivid part. That part was when I was told, or rather telepathically suggested, that everything I had been learning about Egypt has all been true. It was the only thing I remembered from the dream, or any dream for that matter. I believe I remembered that for a reason. And that reason is that the higher realm are trying to show me that it's my time finally. All these 11:11 occurrences and bells ringing in my ear. It's finally time for me to walk up to the temple doors and introduce myself. Only those who are ready to receive this knowledge will ever get the chance to get it. This is the same knowledge that got Jesus crucified. Mystical knowledge through ancient wisdom. So it dawned on me these past few days, and this is how it's all going to go down. I'm taking full control and full responsibility for the failure and or success of New World and whatever other company I start. How we're going to take this company from 1 million to 20 million in revenue is through the federal government and through working with John Wayne. We are getting certified in all of the certifications and all of the following certifications and will have them all within the next 18 months from today. Hub Zone, 8A, DBE, MBE, GSA, SAP. This is the direction that my instinct is telling me to go. This is the universe placing in my path my vehicle for making my dreams and goals a reality. It's crazy how 2 weeks into the year I find John Wayne on YouTube. It's the universal laws acting in accordance with their natural selves in natural order. 2 weeks ago, I willfully commanded upon the universe my intentions and desires. I did so with passion, and now 2 weeks later, I find the guy who is going to get me to 10 million this year. So there you have it. That's the first occurrence in this project that helps strengthen my claim that one can literally speak their desires into existence by simply saying and believing. But now that the opportunity is here, I must take action and perform. Since this government contracting is going to be the future for us, I need to put these certificates as priority over all else. It is absolutely imperative, crucial, mandatory, and essential that I get all of my applications for certifications in before the end of the first quarter of this year. For the next 3 months, this is how it's going to go. January, submit the DBE app and finalize the MBE paperwork. February, submit 8A application, sign up with John Wayne. March, submit Hub Zone. You see, this is all what I'm supposed to do and how I'm going to do it. And I can't wait to show you how it got done. All right, but to good on. So right now, shit is fucked up with money. I have to really hustle to make this shit happen. Business is slow and I'm not doing anything day to day to pick it up. I need to change that. I need to start hustling again. I need to generate 200K in business in the next 30 days. Here are some ideas how to. Bid on 10 to 20 contracts, cold call 250 LED companies in the US and wholesale to them. Choose 10 big LED projects, reduce the proposal price and re-quote to client and tell them you're looking to spark up business. Follow up with the following clients as well. Sage, Pepsi Warehouse, Transtar, Land Rover, Air Industries, Ruby Haas, and some more to-dos. Signed, I am me. All right. Now let's see what some of the responses are to some of these. Oh, shit. Okay. All right, so here are the responses to these that I just wrote in regards to the specific parts of it, because there are specific parts of this. There's not just like one entry. It's, all of these fucking things happen in weird ways. So here we go. All right. So in regards to the yellow part, which says, this past week has been life-changing and mind-altering. I found the Kybalion and have begun studying the 7 laws of hermetics. This is truly life-altering discovery. I've always felt like I've been searching for this knowledge, and ever since I became conscious. It truly was life-altering. It truly was a life-altering discovery, as you now understand through experience. Your life is a result of the knowledge you received here. I'm proud of you for being serious enough about life that you realize the importance of this new knowledge and began implementing them in your life. This was a mature move that made your future self proud. Future self proud. So yeah, I'm speaking to myself from the future. Think and Grow Rich. Books like Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh, The Secret have always influenced my way of thinking, but I always knew that there were deeper levels to it. I wanted to find out. I now have the sacred knowledge and the ability to transcend my being to that of a God manifested on earth. I now have access to the same sacred knowledge that occults such as the Illuminati have had for hundreds of years. This is absolutely correct, Rashawn. The knowledge you were seeking was seeking you. That's how it is and always was. What you seek seeks you. What you think about thinks about you. And what you want wants you. And throughout life, you never accepted the dogma of religions because you knew that if there was a so-called God or truth, that it had to be one God or one truth, and you were correct. Religions are too busy not letting go of their egos enough to come together and agree that there's something bigger than us all, and that thing is the same thing everywhere, just referred to by different names. There is one truth, and that truth is what they call sacred knowledge. This truth is the same truth that has been used by world leaders and secret societies to maintain power and control over the planet. This truth, when known, will allow for you to have whatever you want to have and will give you the power to unlock the dormant powers inside of you. This is now the green section. With this divine knowledge comes the realization and understanding of one's own divinity. I realize now more than ever that I am the creator of my destiny and that I have complete control over the outcome of my life through the power of my thoughts and my mind. I can literally write my own destiny based on my ability to master the 7 laws of hermeticism and uplift myself to a higher level of consciousness. With knowledge comes power to create whatever you want in your reality. You truly do have the potential to create your destiny by design. This power comes from learning and using the principles that govern everything around you. What happens when you become aware of your true power is that you are able to use the spiritual realm to help you create what it is that is best for the world here on earth. It's like having a genie in a bottle that can work miracles in the world using you as a vehicle to do the things that need to be done. In essence, you serve what's above to master what's below. Okay. My ultimate divinity is predicated upon my willingness to devote the time necessary to becoming an initiate and eventual master of the 7 laws of the universe. This is no easy feat, but nothing worthwhile is. This is literally the ancient wisdom of the pharaohs, divine knowledge. Shit, man, you are on fire here. This is as real as it gets. It's pretty simple. If you don't prioritize internalizing this and living by it, you will only let yourself down because you will have to try again, and who knows when that might be. I remember in the book, The Science of Getting Rich, that the author wrote something along the lines of, master this book and you will never in your life need to read another book about getting rich, for these teachings are everything you need to know. It's funny because I now understand what he meant, for the mastery of the Hermetic laws is the most important and only real necessary knowledge in the world one needs to achieve anything he or she may so desire in their lifetime. Everything else is arguably a waste of one's time. This is absolutely correct. You do not need to become a hoarder of knowledge to create a life you want. Do not get caught up in consuming in lieu of producing. It is another extravagant form of procrastination and fear. Understand this, and you understand all that you need to know to create a new reality for yourself. It's weird because lately I have been intuitively realizing all of the truths about the universe that we know. It's like the universe and the all are telling me that I am ready to embark on my journey to my new life of higher consciousness and divinity. You feel this way because you are in tune with your intuition, and this is what you are being told by your intuition. Your intuition always knows what's best and what to do and what not to do. It can see further into the future than you because it does not reside in a realm bound by time. It resides in a timeless realm where all things happen simultaneously. Good job on listening to yourself. It's what made life as enjoyable as it's what made life today as enjoyable as it is. Holy shit. That's I really speaking to myself like back then, saying thank you for understanding this, Rashawn. Thank you for, like that's deep. And literally my life is the way it is today because of this. Everything I had been learning about Egypt has all been true. Oh, excuse me. The last sentence is, so as I wrote in my mushroom passage, I saw Egypt pharaohs in white robes. Well, last night I had a dream, and when I woke up, I remembered one vivid part. That part was when I was told, or rather telepathically suggested, that everything I had learned about Egypt had all been true. It was the only thing I remembered from the dream, or any dream for that matter. I believe I remembered for a reason, and that reason is that the higher realm are trying to show me that it is my time finally. All these 11:11 occurrences and bells ringing in my ear, it's finally time for me to walk up to the temple doors and introduce myself. Only those who are ready to receive this knowledge will ever get the chance to get it. This is the same knowledge that got Jesus crucified, mystical knowledge through ancient wisdom. You're on fire tonight, boy. This is badass shit. Good job for knowing what the fuck is going on and listening and being aware of what's going on around you and being astute enough to see it for what it truly was. It was your time. We were trying to show you this. The 11:11 occurrences as well as the bells were our attempt to get your attention, to remind you that yes, it was finally time for you to enter the temple doors and introduce yourself. This is a bit dramatic, but served its purpose. It was time for you to step it up. The entrance to the temple doors was the space between your eyes. Now you real eyes. So it dawned on me that these past few days, it dawned on me these past few days how this is all going to go down. Oh, you know what? Let me just backtrack just to really, because if you're wondering what that real eyes means, it's on an etymological level, the words, have a lot of power, and we don't even know a lot of the shit that we say. But the word realize, right? Like when you realize something, it's like it's like a moment, like, oh shit. But if you break the word down, and it's, at its root, it's the real eyes, right? And just like, if you just put the EYEZ, and so I get realizing is real, seeing with your real eyes, which are the space between your head, which is the space between your two. It's really crazy, but that's really, if you want to look into it. But that's what that was written like that for. Next part. So it dawned on me these past few days how this is all going to go down. I'm taking full control and full responsibility for the failure and or success of New World and whatever other company I start. This is the only way. All journeys start with taking full control and accepting full responsibility for everything. How we're going to go from this, how we're going to take this company from 1 to 20 million in revenue is through the federal government and through working with John Wayne. We are getting certified in the following certifications and we'll have them all in 18 months. We went from 1 million in 2018 to 4 million in 2019. So we missed our mark, but goddamn, we hit a hefty target. We tripled our business the next year with the introduction of government contracting. This literally changes the trajectory of your life and sets the stage for where you are going to be going well into the future. And then in regards to those certifications that I had set the goal to make, now this is what this, I'm going to switch it up real quick this is what this whole thing is, being made for. So to show the fact that these things that I wrote down happened and they were significant, they weren't bullshit. If you know anything about business, learn. If you are watching this, you probably should know. But if you do know, government contracting is a big deal. And especially for someone like myself who happens to be minority and in business and construction, be a woman or a minority or a veteran and start your own company and figure this shit out because it's out there for you. But anyways, I had set these goals and these things are not easy to get. They're not. The reason most minorities don't get it is because it's a lot. It really is. It truly is. It's like a whole fucking process. And it's like learning a whole new way of doing business. Because usually there's three markets, the consumer market, B2C, B2B, and B2G. And each one of them are different than the other. So most people don't sell to the government. So anyways, I'm just, stressing the importance of how important this one was. And it happened. I'm going to go over it now. Not all of them, but much. All right, so out of all these certifications, HubZone, didn't get it. I'm getting it in 2022 in Newark. 8A, same thing. DBE, got it in 2018, changed everything. MBE, got it in 2018, changed even more. GSA, SAP, nope. So although you did not get them all, the two you got help triple your business in the next 2 years. Shoot for the stars and land on the moon. All right, so... yeah, man. This is the beginning of it. Read that book and invest in yourself because the only thing that is ever gonna invest in you is you, and the only way that you're ever gonna get what you want is to accept responsibility for learning the things that you need to learn and becoming who you need to become to get what you want. No one's just gonna give you shit. That's not real. It's not real. If you happen to live in America and we live in the fucking most abundant, civil society and for everywhere, where fucking everyone just gets things for free. It's just so easy here. Don't think that this is reality, and don't think that this is gonna last forever. This is not real. You have to learn, take responsibility for getting what's yours. Unless you do, you're never gonna get what you want, and that's just a real man shit. Don't let anyone else tell you anything else, and don't feel soft about it. Don't let people say, oh, no. You have to go, you have to go and you have to... I'm just going to share this one concept. I'm going to end this shit. But this shit I thought about before. I think that, nothing in this world is free. Nothing is given for no one gets... the word, the saying, nothing's given for... No one gives something for nothing or... nothing's for free, right? They say that. There ain't nothing free. And it's the truth. Because things are not just free. Even, from a natural resource point of view, things are not just free. You have to plant things first. You have to do things there's equal exchange of energy. And, the idea of not having to do anything or just not having to do much and wanting more is just it's as backward. So the thought was this, I think that God is this being that... It was crazy. This is dope. This is nuts. But what if, I don't even want to share this shit because it's crazy. But, nothing's free, man. Who's paying for your lack of activity? Right? It has to be coming from somewhere. Imagine that you knew, right? Imagine that you knew that every time that, you wasted something or that you, you're someone has to pay for that shit somewhere. Someone's digging, someone, that's just the truth. That's it, man. So, always create your own energy, by doing work. And that's it, man. I don't know if that last part went on a little bit off, but it's just we really have to, especially I think that younger men have to fucking shake it out of their head. It's no one's going to save you. The digital world is not going to, also too, get real. Get real with take responsibility and fucking get real with a lot of professions and careers and shit. The digital world isn't, we're not all gonna fucking make it on the computer. Clean energy is where it's at, but I'm just talking shit now. So, but yeah, man, this is that entry. This is the Kybalion. And, oh shit, how the fuck did that just happen? Oh, this is the Kybalion, and this is what led to, at this point I was, again, living in a warehouse. I didn't have shit. And this is what led to, this right here. This is the city I'm in now, and this is the city I'm rebuilding in, and as deserved, and as expected, and as written about on top of it. So you could do the same thing, man. Patience and action, and a little bit of fucking sweet sauce. Make your own. I'm popping shit now. I hope y'all like me, and if you don't, fuck you. I don't care. What an asshole. How do you end something so nice like that,